And a good Thursday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. We're live at Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Hope you're having a great day so far. He is Big Joe Dubin, playing right field. Sometimes he DHs.
Sometimes. Yep, that's right, man.
And Dr. Crane Nick Frazier at short, back at the studio.
Middle infield, best spot.
Which one?
Middle infield, best spot.
There you go.
Is it?
There you
Yeah,
go.
put the worst player in right field. That's me. So we're good to go. Why is that? Why is the worst player always in right field?
I don't know.
In every softball, if you're in play softball and they put you in right field, that means that they really don't care about you.
Yeah.
Percentages playing in right field are not great because a lot of people are right-handed hitters, so there's not a lot of left-handed hitters there, Joe.
Yeah.
So you put the worst player in right
The
field?
best or the worst defensive player.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the lineup because they can hit.
That's it.
Typically.
You, this morning, Dr. K didn't see this, but Chase sent me what might be the most beautiful sports picture of all time.
Yeah.
It is a spring break picture. Spring Good Lord, he knows where I am.
They're down at Daytona Beach.
Oh, my gosh. It is a spring training picture of the Atlanta Braves, and at the batting cage in full uniform on the left is Chipper Jones. On the right is Dale Murphy.
And in the middle is Walt Weiss.
And Walt, the manager, right? Yep. I mean, it is just look, you know how much I love Dale Murphy, and you love Chipper Jones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that is a picture. Now, all it's missing is Dale Murphy in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, I don't think I sent this to you. So Baseball's Greatest Moments tweeted out the Braves all-time lineup.
Oh, okay.
And I saw this, and I was like, I don't have a ton of arguments on this. It has the
it's like 1 through 8?
1 through 9 with a DH.
Okay.
And a starting pitcher.
Oh, okay.
Starting pitcher, Greg Maddux. No arguments there.
All right, so
that's fine.
Can I go position?
Yes.
First base, Fred McGriff?
Freddie Freeman.
Okay. Well, still a Fred. I get it.
I can't.
Second base better not be Mark Lemke.
It is not. It is, and again, I can't really argue this either. It's Ozzie Albies.
Okay.
Because, I mean, he might be the best second baseman they've ever had.
All right. Shortstop better not be Andres Thomas.
It is not. It is Johnny Logan. I don't remember him.
No, me neither. Third base better be Bob Horner.
It is Chipper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. All right. You got me on that one.
In the outfield.
Right field. Do they have Murphy at right field?
They have him in center.
All right. Center, right field. Claudell Washington.
Andrew.
All right. All right. That's Hall of Famer.
And then left field, Hank Aaron.
Oh. I'm like,
so
Henry.
Aaron Murphy and Andrew Jones in the outfield. Catcher.
Is it your catcher? Bruce Benedict.
No.
That's how I used to say his name. Who became an SEC ref, by the way. Basketball ref. A catcher. It's not Ozzie Virgil.
Nope.
Ted Simmons.
Nope.
Catcher.
Think
I'm
more
out.
current. Brian McCain.
Okay.
I would have, there's some arguments on that one.
Okay.
But Brian McCain. Relief pitcher.
Bruce Sutter?
Nope.
Jeff Reardon?
Nope, you won't get it.
All right.
Craig Kimbrell.
Ah, okay.
And then the manager for the Braves.
Bobby
hang on. DH.
Bob Horner.
No.
How is Bob Horner not on this list?
I don't know.
Who is it?
Eddie Matthews.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with that. That's pretty
And the
good.
manager for the Braves is Bobby
Bobby
Cox.
Okay. I thought Chuck Tanner might get on that list.
Yeah. Freddie
So-
Gonzalez.
Only one guy really from the 80s is Murphy.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. All right. I'm not arguing with that lineup at all.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
And
Seeing that.
and they give you one starting pitcher. That's it.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, if you're giving me 5,
All right. I'm giving you 5. Maddox.
Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz. And then is it Warren Spahn?
Warren Spahn.
I mean, probably him.
Okay.
Nuxall or
Oh, that's right.
Necro. Phil Necro.
Phil Necro.
Yeah. Was he
a Brave.
but was he a pitcher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threw the
And that's
knuckleball.
fine. Yeah.
Nobody could hit it. Him and his
To
brother,
them.
Joe Necro. Phil and Joe Necro, man, that takes me back right there. But yeah, I'm not arguing with that lineup.
Yeah,
at all.
I would go Spahn, Necro, and then Maddox,
Good for
Glavine, Smoltz. And if you want to get into I mean, Mark Wohlers was still one of my favorite closers of all time.
Pretty good.
I mean, Smoltz was a hell of a closer.
He was.
So you could go that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Bob Horner's got to be on the team.
I would, when Pete Rose had his streak in 78 at 44 games, the Braves had him stopped. Gene Garber came in. Pete was 0 for 4. If I remember this correctly, he hit like a slapper. And somehow he got to first, but it was like a fielder's choice, and they gave him a hit. And Pete kept the streak going, the hitting streak. So I'm going to put Gene Garber in there as my relief pick. He had a sidearm, and he looked like he worked at Purity. I mean, he was just average-looking dude, man. He was badass. Just badass. I just got the job done.
Well, I sent you the other day, Dr. Crane, you may have seen this. There's a video of Jim Leland sitting in the dugout in like 1990 with the Pirates, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
and just
didn't play around. If you get a chance, there is a spring training with the Pirates. Barry Bonds it doesn't want to do something, and Jim Leland reads him the riot act and down. It's like a 2-minute. I mean, you go back and watch that. If a manager tried to do that today, they'd fire the manager. Jim Leland did not care because in between puffs on that cigarette, he was giving Barry Bonds the one for all, man. It was something else.
So when a few years ago we did our baseball trip, Robbie was there. We went to Pittsburgh, first time there. And the Pirates Stadium is beautiful. It's right there with the bridge in the background and at the rivers and by the Steelers Stadium and everything. And it was Pirates Hall of Fame night. And they were putting Jim Leland and Barry Bonds in the Pirates Hall of Fame.
Were they both there?
Yes.
Oh.
And there was another guy, too, and I don't even remember who it was. I felt bad for him. Like, nobody's going to remember you.
You're right.
But it was – and like, you could tell that there was respect between the two, but, like, it was still kind of like, all right.
Well, I mean, he tore him apart. Jim
Yeah.
Leland did. So you guys might – I hate to admit this. You might get me a little excited for baseball.
Well, we got you to a game last year, and you enjoyed
did.
it. 2 games.
By the way, this stream, Dr. Crane, I look 78 years old. Can we figure this out?
That's on you. Man.
Can you put a filter on there if you don't mind?
You look fine in your
Terrible.
Smashville baseball jersey. I like it.
God. Anyway, all right.
Those
so
are good-looking jerseys, too.
They are. I tell you, man, the Preds beanie they gave out.
I tell you what, man.
I tell you what, man, that Fernando Mendoza.
That's a little Savannah Banana.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's all right. Did you see who was at whatever it's called now, Vanderbilt Health Sports Park today?
Is it from his IG,
Yes.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love.
I guess this is his, top 30 visit or
Right.
whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Are
Are they allowed to spend all day there?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I thought that was interesting that he put out there and was there in the lobby and hanging out at the Titans facility today.
I'm telling you, man, work that number 3. Titans send your 2027 draft choice to the Cardinals and do what the Texans did back in 3 years ago. Get Bain and Love. I looked at the Rams, what they've done. They haven't had a first-round pick. They had 1 in 24. Before that, their first-round pick, I think, was 2016. They've traded away for guys who've been in the league who have proven themselves. They're not taking chances on draft choices.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, they got Stafford. It helps. But they've done a heck of a job drafting middle-round guys. And so they did that with the trade yesterday with Kansas City. I'm telling you, man, start that seat. Pierce or Wan'Dale Robbins, whoever, Love, Reuben Bain. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels good.
I would, look, call the Predators. Barry Trotz is willing to trade anybody right now. See if he can help you out.
Right. Yeah.
Give me something to
Get
trade.
something over there, man, right?
Nick Blankenberg was traded yesterday to I don't even remember where
Colorado?
he was traded. Colorado, thank you, for a 5th. So Barry
For
Trotz,
what, Chase?
Barry Trotz continues to move assets. He's trading a lot of American players too, so I don't know what's up with that.
Oh, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, he's both. I don't care, man. He's still. Where did he grow up? Canada.
Yeah, he did. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Ricky on our text line. Text line Ricky says McCann over Javi Lopez.
Ooh.
That was my argument. I
Oh.
probably would. I love McCann, but I probably would put Javi behind the plate.
Yeah. Wasn't he only? Who was only Maddox catcher?
They each had their own. Yeah, it was so Eddie Perez was. I think Eddie was with Glavin. Charlie O'Brien was with Smoltzy maybe for a while, and then Javi. Like they carried 3 catchers.
Well, I mean, they won a World Series in '95. I mean, it helped.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was that, but they all could contribute.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's 3 catchers.
It's pretty nuts. Ricky also says Ronald. You're not going to like this. Ronald Acuna over Dale Murphy.
All right, block his number. He's not allowed to touch back anymore. Dale Murphy's one of the greatest baseball players of all time. All time.
Yeah.
He's not in the Hall of Fame. He has 398 home runs. Doesn't have 400. What a joke.
What is, JoJo, our question of the day?
All right, so this happened to me the other day, and it makes me laugh. Have you ever? We did this about 2 years ago. We're going to do it again today. Have you ever been accused of looking like somebody else?
Yes.
Famous or like a brother or a brother-in-law, and they've showed you the picture. There was a lady at the store that was convinced, and I've told you this before. It's happened to me numerous times. She thought I was a senator from Pennsylvania. She thought I was John Fetterman. She goes, "You know who you look like?" And I said, "Don't say it." She's like, the senator from Pennsylvania. I said, "Because I'm bald and I got a goatee and I'm wearing a hoodie?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You know who you are? 7-Eleven in Hermitage, about 7:45 the other morning." That's what it was. So have you ever been accused of looking like anybody famous? When Nick Barris said you like the cop from Beverly Hills Cop, John Ashton, I mean, I looked it up and I was laughing. He passed away 2 years ago. Rest in peace.
Our question of the day is presented by Aries Tactical. Your safety, your skill, your Aries Tactical. First-time shooters, shoot for free. Just tell them that I, Chase McCabe, sent you. Check them out at ariestactical.com. All right, when I was a kid, when I was young, like 5 years old, people said that I looked like Macaulay Culkin. Like all the time. All the time. I don't know if I have.
Have Mama send a picture. I got to see this.
Okay.
All right. Because the 45-year-old Macaulay Culkin looks nothing like
No, yeah, nothing now.
Right?
My mom tried to convince me one time that if I put like a hat and sunglasses on with the beard, I looked like Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I didn't really see it.
No, she's been sweet. You must have had a bad day.
I guess.
Dr. Crane, what about you? You know, Dr. Crane, don't get mad at me. You know you look like to me a little bit?
Go ahead.
Chicken Little.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, he's adorable. I mean, so it's a very complimentary doppelganger, whatever you call it. Same thing.
No, not really. Those are two different things, I believe.
Dr. Crane, I hate to agree with this.
I mean, just because I wear glasses and I'm short, I mean, I don't look like a chicken. I'll tell you that much.
You don't look like a chicken.
I mean, I'm glad to know that I look like a cartoon character to some people, which is good. That means I'm an ageless wonder. But
that's true.
I've been told I look like Joey from Friends. That's that.
Who told you that?
A lot of people in high school.
Wait. You know what?
Some lady of the night you met?
No.
Well, hey, no. I wish.
You do? I 100% see it in the face.
Really?
Yeah.
Matt LeBlanc?
Yeah. No, I totally see it. Their hairstyles are different. But like when Nick takes his glasses off, I 100% see it.
All right, I need to look this
up.
up.
That's interesting. So you got told that like in high school?
Oh yeah, we had a thing called the Moina. It was like the school newspaper, and we all had like look-alike day or whatever. And so they put like the celebrity's face on one side and the student on the other. And then there was a lot of people that voted for that.
If you if you grew your hair out a little bit and kind of styled it like his, I could 100% see it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing it now.
Both Italian.
I did have longer hair in high school too, so just putting that
Did
out
you?
there. Oh yeah.
See, I've only known you with the short hair, so.
Yeah, I had a mop head a little bit, and then transitioned to a little bit of a military cut, and then went to somewhat of a buzzed mohawk, and then now we're here.
I see. I'm looking at Matt LeBlanc on Married with Children because he was.
That's right. Yeah,
he was Kelly Bundy's boyfriend, and if you grew your hair out, all right, you win. All right, no more Chicken Little. You are Matt LeBlanc if you grew your hair out.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not a cartoon character.
Holy cow! Yeah, there's
He would
some in
be
here.
he would be fun to have on the show.
Nick. He's on right now.
Well, no, Nick is fun to have on the show, but Matt LeBlanc.
Oh, sure, absolutely would. Yeah, he would be the best. We'd love it.
Yeah, we got guests coming in.
We're popping the show, man. What's happening around here?
We are indeed.
Holy cow! Now I can't unsee this. I feel bad for calling you Chicken Little now. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Apology accepted.
All right.
I'm sorry for agreeing with him.
By the way, we're bringing Dr. Crane out with us Monday. We're going to be at Salvo's in Mount Juliet. It's National Meatball Day on Monday. Salvo's across from Green Hill High School. Come meet Dr. Crane in the flesh Monday from noon to 3. We look forward to that. It's your day, Nick. It's National Meatball Day.
That is. And my nickname is Meatball from high school. I have a fanny pack that has a pizza embroidered on it. It says Meatball on top. So I'll bring it so you guys can see.
So please wear that.
Yeah. So Monday at Salvo's in Mount Juliet. We're looking forward to that and having a lot of fun. We're going to bring you out, Dr. Crane, and let you meet the people.
I love it.
Do you know what Matt LeBlanc's name in Married with Children was? And I'll give you a hint. He played the same character on a show called Top of the Heap that he appeared in 7 episodes.
Johnny Suede.
Nope.
I don't know.
Vinny Verducci.
Oh, I love that name. That's as good as Ron Mexico.
1991. I don't even know what Top of the Heap is. He a short-lived spinoff with characters that originated in the Married with Children. So it was a Joseph Bologna was on it. Matt LeBlanc.
That's Italian, right, Dr. Crane?
Yeah, it is.
Bologna?
Yeah. Joey Lauren Adams.
That's a girl.
Yeah.
I think.
Christina Applegate made 2 appearances. Ed O'Neill. So it was a spinoff that didn't work.
Top of the Heap.
Yep.
What happened to Matt LeBlanc? Did he get anything after that? That was good.
Well, he did. He did the spinoff Joey that lasted, I think, a season.
He got paid a lot of money for that.
He did. Yeah, he did. And then he did a show on HBO called Episodes where he played himself.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
That's right.
And then he did a show called Man with a Plan that lasted a few years.
Okay, now I can just go to celebrity comic cons and make a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So the question of the day is, have you ever been told like anybody famous? Chase alleges he's Macaulay Culkin. I got to see the picture. Evidently, I'm the senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, which, oh boy, makes me want to go out and get a toupee.
I'd love to see you with a toupee.
Like I want the Bud Adams when he came here at the Oilers, 1995 toupee. That thing was badass.
That would be good.
You don't want a head rug, Joe.
Like, do I want a head rug or be accused looking like John Fetterman?
That's a head rub, but
I'll take that too.
Get that from the lady of the night.
Hey,
Whoa.
man, it's a family show. We've
dropped
told
it
you
first.
this repeatedly.
You dropped
Oh.
it first.
Boy. With that, it's the Chasey Big Joe show here on 102.5 The Game. We'll have more coming from the Omni on this Thursday. 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 the game on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Sad news coming down yesterday. The legendary coach Lou Holtz passing away at the age of 89. Rudy Kalis is going to join us here in a few minutes, longtime anchor at Channel 4. He has a good Lou Holtz story he wants to tell. So
this is a great story he's going to tell about Lou Holtz. 89 years old. And look, I've seen Saban speak, seen Lou Holtz speak. Lou Holtz blows him away.
Yeah.
Lou Holtz was just a great motivational speaker, legendary football coach. I mean, one of Lou Holtz's best things was in the Orange Bowl 1978. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you know what I'm talking about. Arkansas had to suspend 6 of their top players, including the top running back. Lou Holtz is at the Orange Bowl, goes into the line. Oklahoma's ranked like 2nd or 3rd. Arkansas, I don't think they're even ranked. Lou Holtz goes in the locker room and said, and the team knows that these 6 guys are suspended, and says, I'm going to start over here. I want you to tell us why we're going to win the game tonight. And they said by the 4th guy, that locker room, that football team could have beat any team in the world. He just had to motivate them, like, we got this, we got that. And they were like, and they just kept going around. And they went out and they beat Oklahoma 31-6 that night in the Orange Bowl. It's evidently one of the greatest locker room speeches of all time that he gave. But, and he went to the Jets, terrible, in the NFL.
One year with the Jets.
Went back to college with the Arkansas. Then he was at Minnesota. And Notre Dame called. And then he said, you don't turn down Notre Dame.
Yeah. Won the national championship in 1988 with Notre Dame, and then finished his career 99 to 2004 at South Carolina for a record of 249, 132, and 7, including a 12-8-2 record in bowl games with that national championship. Here's the question I have for you, because I think as you move forward in time, when people don't recognize how much college football has changed, and I don't mean this disrespectful to today, but winning a national championship in 1988 to me was a lot harder than it is in winning one in 2025, 2026. Because you truly had to build the program. And it wasn't year to year. You had to build a program. He was there 2 years before they finally won a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, because you only got to win. There's not the gauntlet of 4 playoff games or
Correct.
3 playoffs you got to go through. I mean, it's tough.
You have to put yourself in a position, then where a committee basically, or, people that vote were like, all right, you're the best team.
Yeah. But in 88, they were the best team. They barely beat Miami that year. But, yeah, you can't – look, if, say, Vanderbilt needs a wide receiver, what are they going to do? They're going to get a wide receiver. Right? 1987, 88, you had to go recruit a wide receiver and pray that he was good. I mean, you look at a quarterback. Do you know the quarterback of Notre Dame was in 1988? Probably not. You're too young.
No.
But Tony Rice.
Okay.
How did Tony Rice do in the pros?
I
never
probably
played.
not great,
right?
because I've never heard of him.
So it was more about going to college and playing for that team and helping that team win, of like, I want to go to the pros. And then he got Jerome Bettis to Notre Dame. There's a lot of great players came through and played in the NFL because of him. But he just got guys that bought in to the team and to the program, and they did, and that's what happened.
Yeah. So Rudy going to join us coming up next. Rudy Kalis, not the Rudy.
Not Rudy Rudiger.
Rudy Kalis will join us to talk Lou Holtz. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe on this Thursday, live at the Omni, presented by the Omni on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, and always a pleasure to have our next guest on. He is the legendary Rudy Kalis, longtime sports anchor at Channel 4. Rudy, how the heck are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing fantastic, and we always love having you on. Joe said that you had a great Lou Holtz story that you wanted to share with us and the audience, so the floor is yours.
Well, it's just I texted Joe this morning. I said you didn't need me because he said he remembered the story, but it was back in 1991 when Tennessee played against Notre Dame in South Bend. Because the game was on NBC, we drove our satellite truck there to South Bend, and we were there from Monday on. And I think Lou Holtz got tired of us. On Tuesday, he comes in, he roars up in a golf cart to practice. And, all right, it's a great day to practice. And things are not going real well. So for whatever reason, I'm thinking, oh, boy, we got an interview set up with him afterwards. He's not going to really enjoy this. So after practice in his office, we got it all set up. He storms in, slams the door. I said, Coach, if you want to hold this off, that would be fine with me. Be okay. He said, did you make this appointment? I said, yes, sir. And right now, you're the most important thing. Well, he did a really nice interview. Got to Wednesday, and it was snowing. It got to be snowing. It was great being around Notre Dame. I walked around campus. I felt like a student, an old student, but a student. So and practice again. But now because of the weather, they've gone inside. I thought it was the first 100-yard inside football practice facility that I'd been in. And he's running some little plays around. Rick Myers, the quarterback. And at one point, he does a little fake handoff and trots around to the right side. Lou Holtz turns to me, and he points at me, and he screams out, did you shoot that play? And I said, yeah, Coach, yeah, we did. Did you shoot that play? And I said, well, yeah, we did. He takes off his pants, son of a, boom, and throws it down. 100 guys, you're just here to spy on us. 100 guys stop practicing. They start milling around, getting closer. I said, Coach, he said, give me that tape. I said, Coach, we're not going to, I'm not going to give it to you. We don't have to use that. It's nothing. It was just a little handoff. Like, I'm telling you, the hair spineless guys are milling around. I see these 100 football players. He storms around, walks in circles around me. Then he leans over to me and almost whispers in my ear, go ahead, use whatever you want. I'm telling you guys, they're just using us to fire it up and all that sort of stuff. And I said, I feel like I went to the principal's office and he chewed me out. But he used us to fire them up. He was great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Rudy, I mean, could you imagine today getting access to a coach on a Tuesday or Wednesday to talk about a huge game like that? I mean, it shows you how different the times are from right now to back then.
You know, I really hadn't thought about it, but you're exactly right. Because, I mean, that Tuesday, he storms up and we're able to shoot anything we want. And he was all ticked off. And then again, that interview, I had respected that. He said, and then the thing on Wednesday, again, we were there from the beginning on. Never said anything we couldn't shoot. We were the only TV station. Even the local guys hadn't come out yet because we were there covering NBC. So in hindsight, you're exactly right. Those are different times, and Lou knew how to play it.
Rudy Kalis is with us, longtime Channel 4 sports anchor. Was that your only interaction with him?
Yeah, he came and spoke here at the Vanderbilt Club at time too. I just said hello and reintroduced myself. But as far as like interviews, yeah, that was the only time that we were with him. But just being there, sitting in the stands, and there's little narrow seats they've got in that stadium, and I look up at touchdown Jesus through the at the end of the stadium. It was a really neat experience. And again, then, because we had part of the day for me to walk into some of the buildings and into the chapel and to be part of the aura of Notre Dame was quite a thing. And then in the game, the press box up there was kind of a hanging old rickety thing that I thought would fall down at some point. Here the Vols go down 31-7 in the first half and then blocked a field goal just before. And I think it was Craig Hendrick was the field goal kicker. I think he tore his ACL on that block kick.
Yeah, he did.
Wrong, but
you're right. He did.
So he did, and Floyd Miley brings it back 85 yards, and then they scored 21 points. The last was a little touchdown flare from Andy Kelly to Aaron Hayden, and they score, and they go ahead, and then they tipped. I think it was Jeremy Lincoln or some tipped a little 27-yard field goal at the end. It's as if touchdown Jesus was not coming for you today.
Rudy, it's funny. I met Coach. I met him twice. First time I met him, I didn't. You hear about how great he was and demonstrative he was and all that stuff. I was shocked at how small he was.
Yeah, he's a little thin guy. By the way, you just reminded me, I did meet this is stupid. The very first time I met him, I was doing Vanderbilt play-by-play in 1978 for basketball. We had flown down to, I'm not sure where it was, one SEC school. And I had to go in the bathroom, and I'm in the urinal next to Lou Holtz. I said, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?" So we had a small conversation.
He probably never remembered that one there with that being said.
No.
But that's,
that little,
go ahead.
I was just going to say with that little lisp of his, but he had a wicked sense of humor, and some folks didn't like him, but I just thought he was fascinating. He was a great storyteller.
Oh, he was, and Rudy, when you get the access to somebody like that and a big moment in that game and the story that you just told us, it just shows you just how human that Lou Holtz was as a coach. I mean, how down to earth he was and what he was trying to do. And that's just a fantastic story.
He's a real motivator, and I think the reason behind what he did with us in that practice was the year before, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were in the Orange Bowl against Colorado, and a TV guy from Colorado with a shotgun mic had gotten him saying something to his team about, "We're going to kick their you-know-what," and all that, and they played it back in Colorado on the TV station, and it really ticked him off. So I guess in his mind he's thinking maybe we're going to do that again, or he was just using us. But he was a whip of a guy. I always remember him. I think part of the interview he said, God loves a fool, and he's taken a particular interest in me.
We're talking with Rudy Kalis, longtime sports anchor at WSMV Channel 4. Rudy, what was it like doing sports in Nashville when the focus was always the Vols or Vanderbilt, and there were no Titans, were no Preds? Did it give you a little bit of an opportunity to be more creative on some of your storytelling?
Absolutely. At that time, we had more time. We had, let's say, 6 o'clock an hour newscast. We had 2 sports segments. First one was about 20 minutes after the hour, and we did local things, what was going on. And then about 6:45, we did a feature, 3-minute feature every day. What I loved most was we were able to, we'd go to Crookville. I'd find stories. That's when I would go skydiving or do something. And some of these stories, and we had more time. But, when the Titans came, and which you see now, boy, the big dog, you got to feed it. You got to do Titans, Predators, or Tennessee Vols, then Predators, probably in that order. And now Vanderbilt's doing well. But I really enjoyed it because I did a rodeo story at UT Martin with my old buddy photographer, John Wilson. And that kind of stuff you just don't have time to do today.
Not only that, but, back in those days, the relationships you had with country music stars, I know you and Vince Gill are very tight. That doesn't happen anymore because everybody's busy. Everybody's got an agenda. But back then, you were Marty Robbins, Vince Gill. All these guys were friends.
Marty Robbins would race at the Fairground Speedway, and even if he was leading, there's the story, he pulled it in and ran away because he had to be at the Opry House to sing. So, and we would always be, which you still get. I'd get blown away. You go somewhere, and one of these people would, Vince I got to know on a golf course out here in Nashville, but that they would, "Oh, wait a minute, you live in this town. Hey, I know you." And I felt, wow, I didn't realize y'all were watching.
Rudy, speaking of the fairgrounds, I know that's a place that's near and dear to you. The Cars Tour is coming there on April 11th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to race in it. You talk about people that love the fairgrounds and want to save that place. That can help having Dale Jr. run that place.
Yeah, that reminded me, and I think it was 96. We were driving down to the fairgrounds. We were going to do a story and see this huge bellowing flames and smoke, and raced inside there. And it was his car that had caught on fire. This was during practice, and it was completely, what they say, destroyed. It was just up in flames. And I did an interview with him with the flames going on behind him. At the time, he was a young guy wanting to race. But the fact that he's putting a support behind it, I'm completely behind the Fairground Speedway. I want them to be able to, and I think it's a great thing that they're bringing them in. I always thought the beauty of let Bristol Motor Speedway work that place and make it right and make it beautiful as they said they would, and then do the NASCAR All-Star race here, like with a fanfare experience every year, and you blow this thing out of the water.
Wow. So to that story, I think this is right. When his car got destroyed, he ended up running the race in a Bobby Hamilton car that had 43 on the side, and they covered the 4 up to just put 3 on the door. But he had to call his dad to make sure it was okay because it was a Ford. And so they
You're
took
right.
Yep. So Dale Sr. had to bet because they had this deal with Chevrolet and GM and all that stuff. And so Dale Sr. basically said, take all the Ford decals off of it and don't mention it. And that's basically what they did. He went and ran the race, and the rest is history. But that was he's told that story before, and that was the thing that stood out to me was that he had to call and ask his dad to make sure it was okay because it was a Ford.
That is such a good memory on your part. I forgot because now that you're saying it, he said that part of the interview because Bobby Hamilton had come in and said, Bobby was such a wonderful guy that I can let you use a car and you've got the rest of it right. Isn't that something? Those are the days. Oh, man.
Yes, indeed. Rudy, it is a pleasure to talk to you. Glad everything is going well, and we'll do it again soon.
Oh, thanks. You guys do great. Love listening to you.
Well, thank you very much. Rudy Kalis, the legendary sports anchor at WSMV Channel 4 for many, many years, joining us here on the show, and always love talking to him. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the memories. I mean, Rudy is such a dear friend. And I remember when I went to Channel 4, Rudy had moved to the morning show, and my main thing was don't say I'm replacing Rudy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was adamant.
Yeah.
You don't replace Rudy, Pat Summitt, Nick Saban. You don't follow those people, right? You just don't. I'm like, I am not following you. I am just going to work there. And so that that was top of mind for me because there's no way I wanted any comparison to how great Rudy is.
615-737-1025. It is Chase and Big Joe. We're live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel. More coming next on 1025 The Game.
Oh, hey, guys, Big Joe here again. Listen, as we do every day, we spend a lot of time on the show talking about mental health for men. And the question I get so often is, I don't even know where to begin if I need to go to therapy. Here's what you need to do. UnityCares.com. UnityCares.com has got you covered. Great place based right here in Middle Tennessee. And their main goal is for you to get better, to get back on your journey to wellness and living the life you deserve. UnityCares.com. Listen, it's private. It's secure, it's confidential, and they offer telehealth. I don't need to know what you talk about. I just need you to go because therapy changed my life, and my goodness, I want the same for you. UnityCares.com. This is also equally as important. I see it every single time. If you have a loved one that's acting different, you know something's wrong, talk to them. Both of you sit down together and go to UnityCares.com. There you could be that one person to get your loved one back on the right track when you go there. UnityCares.com. That's everything you need. Spend some time there. Just go one time. Just go one time and see how much it can change your life and realize you get closer to gratitude and you'll grow closer to God. I'm telling you, it works. Please go. I need you here all the time. We love you guys so much. It's a message we send out every day. UnityCares.com has what you need. Please go to UnityCares.com.
It's a Big Joe 102.5 the game here on this Thursday. Dr. Crane, Joe's just wandering around and then he's like, wait, we're back?
That's not new, right?
Sorry, I'm back. Here I am, buddy.
He had to speak to the people
Good to
out in the
go.
lobby. So it
Well,
was a
we're
good time.
sitting here in the aquarium on the corner of 4th and Korean Vets. Kitchen Notes at the Omni. So my ADHD when I'm here is off.
I'm telling you, I want to set up speakers outside and just mess with people.
Oh, it'd be the best.
Like as they walk by, just be like, hey, you.
It'd
Yeah,
be
you. I'm
absolute
talking to you.
best. And we see all types trying to come by the window here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
better in the summertime. Like
Yeah.
fanfare, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Which
It's
is right around
fantastic.
the corner, man.
It is. That is true.
Speaking of right around the corner, Monday, the Chase and Big Joe show on the road again with Dr. Crane. Will be at Salvo's in Mount Juliet. It's National Meatball Day. Salvo's has 8 locations all through Middle Tennessee. Come by Monday and see us noon to 3 at the Mount Juliet location right across from Green Hill High School. Can't wait to be there on Monday and have a good time.
Can we just, to promote this, can we use that picture of us in Key West where Dr. Crane's got the captain hat on?
Absolutely.
It just rolls up.
Looks like the beginning of a certain film only for adults. My goodness.
It's the
Family
best.
show, Joseph.
It is.
It is family show.
It is the best. Kenny the mailman wants to weigh in on our question of the day. Kenny, who do you look like?
Well, it's not me, it's my wife. But let me say before that, thank you for having Rudy Kalis on. That
Absolutely.
what makes shows great. If I remember correctly, he came to America as a child, couldn't speak English, and there's some connection with Marquette. Was he a walk-on when Al McGuire was there, or that's where he went?
He's from Wisconsin, but I don't know that. It could be very well. Yeah.
It is. It is. I've heard him speak numerous occasions, and it's just like the people he's run across and brushed against is like, man, that is amazing. All right, look-alike story. My wife, the lovely and gracious Babette, in junior high was the spitting image of Marcia Brady. They nicknamed
Really?
her Marcia. And if you come in our home, her 8th grade photo is up, and people say, well, what's your connection with Maureen McCormick? And we just laugh. We say, look a little closer, and they'll look, and they'll go, yeah, Marcia. And then we go, no, that's Babette in junior high school. So she got a lot of extra credit and extra grades because people actually thought she was Marcia Brady.
Hey, that's good, though.
Hey,
That's a good compliment.
hey, especially for me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
this guy around. I'm hanging around with Marcia Brady.
Kenny, how was the 100th birthday party last weekend?
It was excellent. My uncle lives in a veterans facility, so he had 100 friends and family, but all the veterans wanted to come down. They were loud. They were rowdy. The Army was saying, the Navy will eat up everything. And the Navy guys would say, we always have to take y'all everywhere. And it was great. People ought to visit the veterans facility. It's the one in Murfreesboro. Those guys are just dying for somebody to say hi to.
Very cool. Thanks for the call, Kenny, as always.
Okay.
Yeah, you too. We appreciate it. Some other answers. 2104 says Jimmy Johnson multiple times. Even took a picture with a guy who couldn't believe how close of a resemblance I was. The way he's spelling it, I think he means Jimmy Johnson, the race car driver.
He could be Jimmy Johnson, the legendary coach.
Well, he's saying Jimmie,
I
which
would
is the
hope
race
so.
car.
That's
driver.
right.
So, David said, when I was a teenager, as a redhead and freckled cover person, I got a lot of, you look like Richie Cunningham.
That's a good one. Richard Merritt texts in and says he gets Jarrell Casey all the time.
Okay. Lenny says, I get told a lot that I look like Johnny Carson.
Pitch you, Lenny,
Yeah.
and be like, I did not know that.
615-737-1025. Jack in Rivergate wants to answer the question. Jack, what's up?
How you fellas doing?
We're good.
I never really got a thing where I look like this guy or that guy, whatever. But for some reason, some years ago, seemed like all the time somebody would say, I know you. Seemed like I know you from somewhere. And and it got to be, it just kept happening. I mean, it was like really weird. So finally, it dawned on me. So the next one, you look just like. Do I know you from somewhere? I said, were you ever in Riverbend? I remember somebody in Riverbend looked just like you. And boy, it cut that water off real fast.
That's that's something. Thanks for the
Jack,
call,
come
Jack.
on. Holy cow. Thanks, Bubba.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
It is.
For
I
sure.
mean, sometimes you could use this to your advantage, right? If you really look like somebody famous to get like a place at a restaurant. Like when I go to a restaurant to put a name in, they announce over the speaker, I'm always Dan Marino.
Yeah.
and people look around like Dan
No,
Dan Marino.
that's not true. You've used some names you can't say.
But I use that 95% of the time. I just like to see the look like Dan Marino. What? Dan Marino? I look nothing like Dan Marino.
No, you don't even resemble.
Big man.
Big man. I dropped a big man the other day to somebody, and they turned around and gave me the stare. It was a little guy, but he was a big man. I remember when I did. That's an inside joke. We're not getting into it. But when I did that in Vegas with y'all, and I explained it to you, big man, and just they turn around, and you're just me and the coach got into so many fights over that, which is pretty stupid, but also 25 years old.
But it's good stuff. That is for sure. We'll have more coming up next in hour number 2. Greg Wyshynski going to join at 2:00 today. As the trade deadline is tomorrow for the NHL, but we'll have more coming. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Hope you're having a great day to this point. No, we are. The trade deadline tomorrow with the Nashville Predators in the NHL, and of course we'll talk to Greg Wyshynski at 2 o'clock to get more on that, but the Predators have been busy over the course of the last few days as they have traded Mike McCarron, Cole Smith, and Nick Blankenberg last night. All these guys had expiring contracts, so they're able to get draft picks. So they have now acquired a second and third in 2028 and got a fifth. Let me check the year, but a fifth for Nick Blankenberg last night. And then have recalled some of the young guys. Ryan Ufko, who's a defensive prospect, has been recalled. Fedor Svechkov has been recalled as well. So they will join the team as will Reed Schaefer. You're going to see the young guys. For those of you that this has been what you've been wanting, well, here you go.
Would it be great they go in just a burner?
It'd be awesome.
I mean, win like
happened a few years ago.
Yeah, win like 8 in a row. Get back into. I'm excited for it. You never know what can happen. So, are there more going to happen? Probably more trades.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I would look at Eric Holla, Bunting, Michael Bunting, and potentially Nick Perbix is being moved. Perbix will have a year left after this year on his contract. He just signed here as a free agent. But I don't think O'Reilly gets traded. I don't think Stamkos gets traded, even though there are some rumors out there that teams are inquiring.
Would you?
I'd have to really be blown away. I mean, I'm going to give the same answer that Barry Trotz is giving. Like, I'm talking multiple firsts and prospects and, you know, a roster player that's basically going to be able to fill that spot right now.
Would it be great, though, if you traded Stamkos and O'Reilly? You got whatever. Brought up some guys, and they got better.
It'd be something.
Right? I mean, the chances are nil.
You're not, yeah.
But,
I mean, if you do that,
you're a hero.
You're throwing in the towel for the rest of this year, and you're basically saying that, like, at least next year and beyond, you're not going to be very good because you're going to be young.
Yeah.
Now you'll still have like Forsberg and Yossi, which you could have discussions over the summer if they're like, hey, we've loved it here, but you know we want to go win a cup. You know, could we look at that? You could certainly have those conversations too.
Good Lord, can you imagine those two gone?
But that's a rebuild.
Right.
That's what that is.
Would be, yeah. I can't imagine a Preds team without Yossi or Forsberg.
No.
I mean, that's 11, 12, 13 years now. Also couldn't imagine a team without Pecorine, and he's been gone now for 4 years, 5 years. Or Shea Weber. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, the guys get older and retire, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 24 hours, basically. I think 2 o'clock Central Time tomorrow is the deadline. So
and you'll be on the air.
We'll be on the air.
Yeah.
So
getting it done, man.
Yep. So we'll see what happens there.
Are they going to miss like Blankenberg?
Yeah, I mean, Blankenberg was a young, hungry defenseman who's been pretty good on the second power play unit, and I think he's had a really good year. So
I just don't like trade. Wasn't there a trade to Minnesota too? Who went to Minnesota?
McCarron.
I just don't like trades within the division.
Well, I don't either, but it's good for McCarron because he really played well under John Hines. So I think that's a system he flourishes in. So that'll be good for him. And Minnesota needed more grit.
Right?
That's why you ask for a second-round pick for
Good.
A guy that,
all right.
you know. So they play tonight against Boston, and it'll be fun to see, you know, how Schaefer – we've seen him a lot this year, but how he's developed since he's been down, and same with Svechkov. And then Ryan Ufko leads the Admirals in points.
Bring him up.
Very touted defensive prospect, so I look forward to seeing him.
Bring him up. Let him play, right? I mean, you got to at some point or other, you got to let him play.
Yeah.
We said that about Jackson Slater with the Titans and some of their draft choice. You got to see him at some point. The opportunity's there. Can you, in that moment, show what you have and what you can do? So I'm excited. I mean, I hate to see guys leave and go, man. But as a fan, I mean, the future could be very bright.
And for people wondering, okay, why not call up more skilled forwards? Schaefer and Svechkov kind of fit the same game as McCarron and Smith. So you're just kind of trying to replace that a little bit. I think Kimmel is going to be on the way at some point. If they move Michael Bunting, I think Joachim Kimmel needs to be called up. It needs to play and get him top 6 minutes. Yeah, let me call Barry right now. Make that happen.
Say, look, Barry.
I don't have to say that. Just be like, Barry, what's up?
Say, I'm this very popular show where my co-host knows all.
He's aware. Don't worry. He's aware.
He knows all about hockey, and then I think you should listen to him. What's his name? I'll pass. We're not doing that today.
So I'll be curious to see this because, they got, 20 games, something like that left.
Any other big names that have been traded across the league?
They have 21 games left. Yeah, let's hang on. I actually don't have the list
because I don't know. God bless you, pal.
Thank you. Let's see, because I have not looked in the last little bit. Nicholas Roy has been traded from Toronto to Colorado for a first-round pick in 2027 or 2028. That's pretty big. Nick Dowd goes to Vegas from the Capitals. Edmonton and Chicago made a deal last night. Jason Dickinson and Colton Dock go to Edmonton for Andrew Majapane and a conditional first-round pick. Utah got Mackenzie Weegar, a defenseman from Calgary.
Utah, give me 2.
Yeah. So, there's definitely a lot of moves being made. I think what people are watching, what's St. Louis going to do? Because they got a couple of guys that they could acquire quite a bit.
Chase, what are they going to do?
I don't know. I don't live or work there.
Well, you've got a kind of finger on the pulse.
I'm trying
in the National Hockey League right now.
So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm good with what they're doing. Because I think at this point it's like,
look, man,
you could have made the run, but
if you're throwing the white flag, why are you keeping O'Reilly?
Because
I know people love him. He's great.
Because I think you can reload for next year
with him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
So there are rumors that that they're blowing it up, that they're trying to sell anything and everything they can, but who knows? Skyler wants to know, is Riker Lee still in college? Want to see his offensive skill in the Preds. I believe he is. Kevin in Hendersonville, is this them throwing in the towel for the season? Yes, absolutely. 0862, I thought they were doing a rebuilding job. Why don't they get rid of Marchessault and Stamkos and build for the future? I understand keeping O'Reilly and those guys, the original guys that will give the ones just starting out and build from that. I think that's what we're talking about. They're potentially looking. I don't think there's going to be much interest right now in Marchessault because he just hasn't been very good here. But if they could move him, they'll try.
Okay.
But at the same time, keep in mind some of these guys. O'Reilly does not, but Stamkos has trade protection. So if he's like, no, I like Nashville, I'm not moving, that's his call.
Well, he's playing his ass off right now. So I'm good with that.
Chuck says, I have a problem with not moving people off the top 2 lines. That's where the Predators need help and need change. Again, Chuck, understand, trade protection is in play. The player has a say in it.
I hate trade protection.
You can argue it if you want, and I agree. I think they handed that out a little too much with some of these deals. But, if you go to a guy and he has a full no move, and you're like, hey, would you waive that? And they say, no, there's nothing you can do about it.
Let me ask you a question. Who's the best hockey player the Nashville Predators ever had?
Probably Roman Josi.
Not Paul Kariya.
Well, are you talking about Just
right,
in
it could-
general, or at the time they played for the Predators?
The time that they were here. I mean, let's go
Yost,
defenseman.
I mean,
forward.
Roman Josi won a Norris Trophy.
Okay.
So I would say him. I mean, Pekka's up there. I mean, he won a Vezina.
Shea Weber.
Shea's up there. He should have won a Norris.
He never did.
No, but he should have. He should have won two.
I counter with Korea, and I think because
Yeah, I mean, Korea's up there for sure.
when he signed here, I'll never forget. I was with Pete Weber the day that happened.
I'd say yeah.
Pete was like-
I would say yeah.
That put the Preds on the
Yep.
map.
Yep, it did.
It became Nashville became a destination for hockey players.
Yeah.
Up until then, it was like, I don't know. But then he came here, and then boom. And of course, when Peter Forsberg played in that 07 season, and then that was a lot of fun. But it was, I thought Korea was, at the moment, we were all still learning about hockey, and it was just a heck of a thing, man. Steve Sullivan's pretty damn good when he came over from the Chicago, was that where he was? Steve Sullivan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got traded from Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll continue this discussion next. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game.
On a house with no name, it felt good to. All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe Show live from the Omni Nashville Hotel. Next week, we're all over the place. Monday, we'll be at Salvo's in Mount Juliet for National Meatball Day. We're excited about that. Dr. Crane will come with us out there. So, Dr. Crane, there's not a better place to celebrate National Meatball Day than with you than at Salvo's Monday. So, you ready for this adventure?
Absolutely, man. You know, it's tough to eat another person's Italian food, but I'm still going to enjoy it.
You better, pal. So we're going to look forward to that. It'll be a lot of fun. So we're out and about all next week. We're looking forward to that. Trade happening in the National Football League. The Buffalo Bills have landed a new top target for quarterback Josh Allen, agreeing to trade with the Chicago Bears to acquire receiver DJ Moore. Buffalo is sending a 2026 second-round pick to Chicago in exchange for Moore and a 2026 fifth-round selection, sources told Adam Schefter. The trade cannot be officially processed. The new league year starts next Wednesday. So, yeah, that's – tell you, Dr. Crane, it changes almost every day, maybe hour about, all right, they're going to get this guy, that guy's going there. What it does, it changes a free agent board and it changes your draft board.
Yeah, it also changes a little bit of the draft capital of, you know, what it's worth in some aspects. Because, again, a second and a fifth, I mean, that's about right for a 28-year-old wide receiver. But, you know, you look at what DJ Moore can do. He's a versatile wide receiver in the NFL. You can put him not in the backfield, but put him in the slot, put him out wide. You can motion him across the offensive line and just create a lot of different, you know, complexities to the offense that makes the defense have to really react quickly.
So does that mean that Chicago, the Bears now are going to be in the free agent world looking for a wide receiver? That could affect the Titans, and the Titans are going to go after Wan'Dale Robinson or Alec Pierce. I mean, now you got a new guy that's going with you.
I don't think so. I mean, you look at what they have right now. They have Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet. They have the other tight end as well that his name is escaping me. But, you know, you have some key assets on your offense. And, again, you have Caleb Williams. I think a lot of Bears fans are pretty pleased with, you know, what they saw last year in the playoffs. And obviously losing one of your young offensive linemen this past, I guess, couple days to retirement, that does hurt. But besides that, they have a decent core right now, and especially at the wide receiver room. There's a lot of proving grounds. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of proving grounds for a guy like Luther Burden. Was wide receiver 3 last year for them. So hopefully he can kind of catch some stride and see what he can do.
I don't know. I just I think the Bears had something rolling right there, and now you've kind of taken a piece out of that. I don't know. I mean, we'll see with that. But the center retiring for the Bears the other day is huge. Now they can go look for free agency, probably for a center. The Titans got to look for a center in free agency. So there's a lot of moving parts there as well to see who they get. So I'm telling you, man, when's legal tampering? Monday? Is that when that starts?
I believe so.
I mean, all the deals are going to be out that day, right? I mean, it's going to be – word will be getting out. Schefter will have all that stuff, and Ian Rappaport, all the guys will have all the breaking news about that. So we'll see. But I mean, the Titans, you know, now they got competition for a center. They need a receiver. I'm not sold on Wan'Dale Robinson anymore.
Why is that?
I don't know, 5'8", 180. I don't know, man. I want to – and I know Pierce didn't set the world on fire with 1,000 catches, man, but you just need that over-the-top deep threat.
Joe, do you believe in me?
Do I believe in you?
Yeah.
Of course. I see you every day.
Do you believe in a David James?
Do you
believe in Ian Safar?
Yeah, but none of you run a 4.40.
They're all taller than me, Joe. 5'8's just a number. Height is just a number. You believe in Xavier Restrepo last season, right?
He's a slot guy.
Doesn't matter. He's still a receiver.
He's a slot.
Joe.
A slot receiver is completely different. You know this.
I know, but say it with conviction to know that I know that you're telling me the truth.
All right. Well, if they get Wan'Dale Robinson, I understand him. He's got the relationship with Brian Dable and brings him here, and I'd still be excited, but I just need a guy to take off the top and then let DK and Iowa Manor and other guys, you know, do the intermediate routes. I mean, it's just the formula that works in the National Football League. It's always been that way.
To me right now, looking at this Titans team, the one word I've been stressing across these airwaves for the last 3 to 4 weeks is continuity. You got to have continuity, and they have that with a guy in Brian Dable, along with, you know, if you bring in a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson. There's been, you know, little rumors and reports online that they're linked to that they both have mutual interests. So if you can land that, that's great. Again, I'm on the opposite, you know, pendulum swing here when it comes to Alec Pierce. I'm just not a fan of that. I get the whole point of taking the top off the defense, but you can still, you know, create some versatility with that wide receiver group you have if you bring in a Wandale Robinson, a Chim Dike, and then an Alec Iowman. I think you can still do that with those three. To me, you put like an Alec or a Wandale, it's vice versa. It's whatever you want to pay for those guys. But I think they can do the same thing just about.
I'm telling you, if I'm playing you and I'm a defensive coordinator and I know you don't have a deep threat, you're done. You're done.
We'll have to see about that.
You're done. You don't have a deep threat on that team, then I can play a completely different defense. I get pressure because you don't have a guy going down the middle of the field. And if you can, I get you single coverage with a safety and not have to worry about it. All right, just my corner sticks with you the whole time. I mean, you need – and it's complimentary, man. You got to have that stuff. I mean, New England, when they got Randy Moss, I know he's a Hall of Famer, but still at the same time, you knew that Moss was going to go – and it scared the defenses to death. I know they didn't still win a Super Bowl either. So
yeah, I think of it this way too. If you're an offensive coordinator, you just keep taking everything underneath, set it up for a play action. Because look, the Titans were one of those teams back in the day when they had Ryan Tannehill, along with AJ Brown and so forth. They were a great play action team. I think this Titans team that's going to be playing this fall, if they were to get maybe a Jeremiah Love or even a Reuben Bain or whoever they go grab. I think in free agency, if you get a decent wide receiver, you can go back to those play action years of the Tennessee Titans where you have successful wins on that chalkboard.
Well, that's what you need a Jeremiah Love, because I am not falling for a play action with a Tajay Spears or a little bit of a Tony Pollard. It worked because you had Derrick Henry.
You're right.
I mean, it worked. I mean, I'm telling you, man, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman was a great play action because you were scared to death that Emmett was going to get the ball. And also, you go back to those Cowboy teams, you talk about Irvin, Michael Irvin, but they had Alvin Harper was a deep threat out of Tennessee, and you couldn't stop him. So there's your over the top. You had Irvin intermediate. You had Novacek getting out and they opened the tight end. I know we're talking about an offense that's 35 years ago, but it worked. The 49ers were the same way with Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Brent Jones, Montana, Roger Craig. You had all that stuff. Look at these great teams that win multiple Super Bowls. They have those components which can really dissect your defense and get down the field. Now, it's adapted and changed a little bit, but look at Stafford. I mean, with him, with Puka Nacua, and when he had Cooper Kupp there for a little bit, I mean, they won the Super Bowl in 21. They also had the same time had the play action that worked. So I don't know, man. Here's the deal, Dr. Crane. I'm excited for what the Tennessee Titans could do, and I haven't been excited about this franchise in a long time.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You remember when I sat in for Chase on I think it was a couple Wednesdays ago. It was actually when Ty Simpson was making the big news about the Rose Bowl and so forth. I told you, and we had the conversation I think it was the question of the day. It was, what do you think the Titans will do next season? I said it was like the most outlandish take, whatever you had. I said Titans would make the playoffs and maybe a 9-8 season. I think that is very feasible in some aspects. Again, that was the outlandish take way back, a month or so ago. But,
right.
I just think this is a viable option for the Titans if they were to go grab a running back.
Well, and remember what I've always said, and this is you can meet me if you want to, but all you got to do is be better than 3 teams.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong there.
Make sure you didn't disappear on me. Yeah.
No.
You got to be better than Houston, Jacksonville, and Indianapolis. That's it. You don't have to be better than 29, 31, whatever, 31 other teams. Be better than 3 in your division. Make the playoff. Anything can happen.
But you look at this Titans team as of right now, and you mentioned Tajay Spears in the backfield. That's the big issue with today's NFL football is everybody tried to go that split backfield to have your 1-2 punch. Whereas you look back and you and Chase even mentioned it yesterday about the smash and dash with the Chris Johnsons and the Lindell Whites of the world. You don't really have that right now. You kind of, again, Tony Pollard can run the ball. He's had 1,000 yards on the ground, but to me, he resembles a little bit of a scat back because of his size and his stature. Obviously, Tajay Spears is for sure a scat back. He's going to be catching balls out of the backfield. Again, you're right, Joe. He doesn't scare me back there. There's no versatility in that backfield.
Right. All right. We're coming up next. Chase McCabe, I got something for you. There's always accusations of who is wide receiver you, right? Tennessee claimed that in the 90s. I have a chart that shows you who the NFL receiving yards leaders by school since 1970.
Ooh.
I found this fascinating because sometimes you think, oh, that's receiver you. Oftentimes it's not. And there's one school that takes the title of receiver you that's entered the NFL. We'll tell you what that is next.
We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. Right Time HVAC and Cromwell Media are teaming up to bring comfort back to your home. Is your heating system struggling or completely out of commission following the winter storms? Nominate yourself for the Right Time Home Rescue and tell us your story. Enter today at thegamenashville.com/HVAC, and you could win a new HVAC system installed by Right Time HVAC. Right Time HVAC, locally owned and operated. There's never a wrong time to call Right Time. Chasing Big Joe at the Omni here on this Thursday. Before we get to I'm very intrigued by this leading receivers from each school in the NFL. Big Shark has a question on the Preds. What's going on, Big Shark?
Hey guys, how you doing this afternoon?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just calling in to give my little input on the Nashville Predators. I'm a longtime fan. I really love the sport of hockey. I mean, I got into it when I was probably about in third grade, so I'd say like mid-2000s, early 2000s. But the only thing that I really don't like about the Predators organization is that it doesn't seem that they're really aggressive and competitive in the front office. And it shows on the ice year after year because, you know, we have teams that have competed, but we don't have those contender teams like the team we had in, 2017. You know, the team that came in the first round, beat the crap out of, Chicago, and they were the defending champs. And then you go beat your arch rivals, St. Louis, 4-2, get them out of the way. And then you beat down another good Anaheim team. You know, those guys, then they were able to hold that moniker of Smashville. These last couple of years, I mean, just take the Smashville away because you guys aren't smashing anybody. You guys aren't aggressive in the front office. You're not aggressive on the first, second, or third lines. You know, your goalie is not aggressive enough to, keep these games close to where you can secure, certain wins to get points. So I do believe that the Nashville Predators need a total rehaul. Not saying that the roster is not good because, you got Stamkos and O'Reilly added to the roster with Yossi. But you didn't get those guys when they were in their prime, and that's the problem. You're not grabbing these elite guys when they're actually really, really good. You're getting them on the back end of their career, and it's killing your organization. It's killing your fan base, even though you're going to have the loyalty with the fan base because I'm going to go to games. I'm going to go to the matches either if they win or they lose. But at the same time, I want them to be contenders instead of competitors. We want to contend for Stanley Cups. We don't want to be competitors for the loudest arena or the best chance, which we do have that, and we have a great atmosphere. But with Nashville being Nashville, we need to be way more aggressive because you have the market to grow the sport, and you have the market to really have that big fan base like Boston and Detroit and, other organizations. So that's my only take. Be more aggressive in the front office. We have to have the attitude of where we have the best GM, the best coach, the best goalie, the best first, second, and third line, and that's just going to trickle down into the fan base, and you're going to see something like you did in 2017. But you guys have a good day, and y'all take it easy.
Thanks for the call, Big Shark. Appreciate it. And I get it, and you're right. And
Great call.
I think that's what makes it so intriguing. And look, I think that the front office with Trotz and then Boyle before that, they made a lot of good moves. There were a lot of good times. But I understand where the fan base is coming from on we want a Stanley Cup. So that's a fair argument to have. And I think that's why it's going to be intriguing to see once somebody new comes in, what new ideas and philosophies look like.
Absolutely. And look, he's right about that. I mean, there's a lot of people that care about this hockey team and want to win. I mean, they want to see a Stanley Cup. They want the run again, which happened in 16, 17, a little bit in 18, which was fantastic. So I agree 100% with all that.
All right, what you got?
All right, so there's all the conversation has been about, this is receiver U, that's receiver U, where do guys come from? So Tennessee in the 90s and 80s a little bit was like, we're wide receiver U. No Tennessee college player has ever led the NFL in receiving, ever.
Okay.
Right? So we're going to start this back with, we're going to go new to old. Like 2005, 2024, which player, from what school led the league in passing receiving yards? 2024, it's a player. What do you think it is?
Led the NFL
in receiving yards.
In receiving yards in 2024, Justin Jefferson.
Jamar Chase.
Okay.
All right, so he did. So LSU's up there. 2023, a receiver from West Alabama led the league in passing yards received. 2023.
I'm so bad at this.
He's injured currently.
He's injured. Do you know, Dr. Crane?
What was the first part of the question there, Joe?
This player played at West Alabama and led the NFL in receiving yards in 2023.
Cooper Kupp.
Oh,
Nope. It is one Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Okay.
2022, this young man from LSU led the league in receiving, and it is
It's either Jefferson or Chase.
Justin Jefferson. 2021, this young man out of Eastern Washington led the league in receiving.
Eastern Washington.
Dr. Crane just said it.
Oh, is it Cooper Kupp?
It is
That's
Cooper
Triple
Kupp.
Crown year, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah. All right. 2020, a receiver out of Maryland led the National Football League in receiving yards.
I don't know.
He just got cut.
Stephon Diggs?
Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
Tennessee's not on this list. 2019, a receiver out of Ohio State led the league in receiving for the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, Olave? No.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
2018, an Alabama receiver led the NFL in receiving yards. It's the only Alabama receiver on the list.
28, Julio?
Julio Jones. 2017, a player out of Central Michigan led the NFL in receiving yards. 2017. Played for the Steelers. Come on. Butch Jones recruited him.
Do you know Dr. Crane?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Thank you.
2016, this young man out of FIU led the league in receiving yards.
I have no idea.
T.Y. Hilton.
Okay.
2015, Alabama receiver.
When? 2015.
15.
Julio
Jones. All right. So we'll go down a little bit and figure this stuff out here. 2013, this receiver out of Baylor led the NFL in receiving yards for the Cleveland Browns.
Out of Baylor.
Got in trouble quite a bit. He's a hell of a receiver, though.
Oh, they finally cut him, didn't they?
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, yeah.
So you go back in these lists. Miami Hurricanes have more receivers on this list, followed by Syracuse.
Miami, well, Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin is. Let me go back here. So, hold on. You went back on me a little bit. 1991.
Okay.
Miami had 3 receivers in a row, which led the NFL in receiving yards from 2006 to 2008. I'm sorry, 2007, 2009.
Do you know Dr. Crane?
One of them's a former Titan.
I do not.
Oh, from Houston. That guy.
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't think right now. I'm sorry.
Sorry. One school which has led the league, which is up there with Miami, tied with Miami, and you know what this school is, Mississippi Valley State.
That would be Jerry Rice.
So with this being said, it's all about the system and the quarterback you get with.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line for all these stats. I mean, Rice got with Montana. You know, Marvin Harrison got with Peyton Manning. Justin Jefferson had a good year in 22 with – who was the quarterback in 22 for them?
For
Minnesota. Oh, Kirk Cousins. Yeah. 24, Jamar Chase had Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
It just shows you where you land. I was shocked that there's no Tennessee guy on this list. I don't know why. I just thought, you know.
But I mean, who's the most successful Tennessee receiver that has been in the NFL?
Well, I mean, there's
Joey Kent sucked. Justin Hunter sucked.
Well, I go back. I mean, you had Stanley Morgan in
Yeah.
the 70s, 80s with the Patriots. You know, Alvin Harper had 2 good years with the Cowboys. He caught a ton of yards, but it wasn't up there. Anthony Miller with the Chargers was great.
Who was
Jalen Hyatt.
His son played. I think his son played in the league too. But the dad, I think, one of them went to UT.
The son and the dad.
I think the son played in Baltimore.
Receiver?
Yeah.
I am stumped. Stanley Morgan, Alvin Harper, Carl Pickens.
Well, Pickens is one.
Yeah,
but that's
he
not who I'm
didn't make the
thinking
list,
of.
Anthony Miller was a great receiver for the Chargers out of Tennessee.
God, who am I thinking of?
His son played.
I think so. I think he was. If I'm thinking of the right. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. Hang on.
It's okay. Talk about yourself. How we doing? Mm-hmm.
Well, Juwan Jennings has been pretty good.
Yeah,
in the league.
Where do you guys rank Cordero Patterson? Because he was a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was both.
God, is he still in the league?
I'm not sure.
Remember when he caught a touchdown pass versus Troy in 2012 and he ran into the tunnel at Neyland Stadium? We were like, just keep running to the combine, buddy, because this football team you're on isn't any good. That joke landed well back then.
This is gonna drive.
So this guy was a receiver, him and his dad?
Yeah.
What year are we looking at here?
2000. Dante Stallworth. That's what I'm thinking of.
Pretty good receiver. Who was his dad?
I didn't his dad play or no? Okay, maybe
Stallworth was good. He was okay.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
he was drafted 13th overall by the Saints.
What year was that?
02.
02.
Because Albert was 2 picks later.
Okay.
John Henderson. That was John Henderson, Stallworth, and Albert all went in the first round.
That was 2002.
2.
Is Witten in that draft?
Yes. No, next year.
All right, the next year. Good Lord.
Kelly Washington went the next year.
The old man. He was like 38 when he was playing at UT because he played baseball before that.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
For some reason, I thought he was a junior.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
So
that's who I was thinking of.
A few guys. But again, it shows you the right system, right quarterback where you could really do things and turn it around. I mean, there's some interesting
Dante Stallworth played for the Saints, the Eagles, the Patriots, the Browns, the Ravens, the Redskins, back to the Patriots, and back to the Redskins.
I think he also killed somebody in a car wreck.
Yeah, he did.
That was
right.
Yeah. Michigan State's on the list. Mushin Muhammad in 2004 led the league. So,
yeah. Did Derek ever lead the league in?
No.
I didn't think so.
Receiving, no.
How did Peerless Price do in the NFL?
Did okay. He played
the Bills.
With the Bills, he ended up with the Falcons. I mean, he wasn't great, but he was not bad at all.
You mentioned Cedric Wilson. David Martin was one.
David Martin.
I'm looking at receivers drafted. Mark Jones, Robert Meacham with the Saints.
Yeah, he was the number 1 pick. 06?
Yeah, he was the 27th overall pick. That's funny. Denarius Moore, I don't remember him. Cordell Patterson, Justin Hunt.
Oh, Charles Ladd, Willie Gault. Oh my, how the heck did we forget Willie Gault?
Josh Malone. He didn't.
Cup of coffee.
He didn't pan out.
Thank you, Charles, for that. I completely forgot about Willie Gault. Anyway, a little
Josh Palmer did okay with the Chargers.
He's still playing, isn't he?
He might be.
All right.
He's with the Bills.
With the Bills now. All right.
There you go, buddy. Bills. So there you go. That's Valus Jones. That's another one. We'll have more coming here. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel. We'll talk to Greg Wyshynski here in a few minutes. From ESPN, as the trade deadline continues or looms or however you want to put
Something that goes on.
for the NHL.
A lot of refreshing of your Twitter feed, X feed tonight and tomorrow about what goes on.
Yes.
Is the NHL the one league on trade deadline close to it where – because the NFL, there might be one or two. Baseball, there's usually a few. But is the NHL the one where, massive amounts of deals are made at the trade deadline? I think – I somehow think it is.
The NBA. I would say the NHL and the NBA are pretty similar in that.
Okay.
The NFL has picked up. Like, I remember talking to Floyd about this, and he said, trades were made at the deadline, but not big ones. But he felt like post-2011 or whenever it was, you saw them really pick up.
Yeah, I could see that. NFL trade midseason there's like when Byard got traded to the Eagles in 23, that was shocked a little bit, but also it's like you got to leave here, fly there, learn the system, and then play the next few days. Hockey, I think you could acclimate yourself quicker in basketball as well. Like, all right, plug in, here's what we're going to do, get in there. Football, you got 10 other guys around you. There's a lot to go. That's why I don't see a lot of midseason trades that happen. That's why next week free agency was going to be absolutely psychotic.
So something to kind of keep in mind. There was a reported trade yesterday with Parayko from the St. Louis Blues getting traded to Buffalo, and he has trade protection, so he vetoed it. And people are like, well, why? Like, he shouldn't be able to do that. They collectively bargained that players can get trade protection, and therefore, if they don't want to waive it, they don't have to. It's their right. And that's the part where this is the human side of this.
Right.
Like, Ryan O'Reilly is a husband and a father, and they chose Nashville because Nashville's a great place to live. Now, I get the business side. I certainly understand that too. But people that get mad of like, well, he shouldn't have any say or whatever, like, there is a human side to this. Like, there's other things. Hal Gills talked about it multiple times of getting traded in the middle of the season, and his wife has to deal with, the kids and school and the house and all that stuff.
But I feel like this.
Yeah, you do.
It sucks.
I'm not, they make a good living to do this. So it's like, I'm not necessarily feeling sorry for them. I'm just saying, keep it in mind that it affects more than just the players.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why they have this trade protection where they have a little more say. Now, look, if Barry Trotz goes to Steven Stamkos and says, hey, Buffalo really wants to trade for you. They're offering me a really, really good deal. It would really do me a solid if you would take that. They can have that conversation. Now, he could say no, or he could say, hey, if that's the best deal you're going to get, then I'll ultimately say yes. Would you do me a solid and call Tampa Bay or call X and say,
right,
see what they would offer you? Because I'd rather go there. Then you can work the phones and try and do that. But the other thing to consider is teams may know that, and so they're going to lowball you.
So with that being said, that's the same way with Will Levis.
Correct.
I'm not trying to switch things here, but if I know you're getting rid of Will Levis,
I'm not going to pay you that much.
I'm not going to pay anything.
Right.
You're going to cut him, and if I can get him, I get him. If not, I don't. But I'm not going to give you anything for that.
It's in any type of negotiation. The car dealer is probably the best analogy, but you go into something knowing you want it, and you really want it, and they know you really want it. Mm-hmm. But you got to have that point where you're willing to walk away, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to let you walk out the door.
No, is this equal to the 04 Titans, the salary cap purge?
No, because the Preds didn't really have any salary cap issues. This is a rebuild.
But letting guys go, right?
But the difference is Floyd had kind of maxed out the credit card. Like, you had kicked, they backloaded contracts and would kick stuff down the road and all that.
Yeah.
And finally it got to the point where they had to pay the bill. And so, I think they had done all they could do. and Bud was like, yeah, I'm not restructuring. I'm not like, let's start over. And so that's kind of where they got to that point.
Took them 05 was terrible. 06 was 8-8. 07 they made the playoffs, lost to the Chargers, and 08
That was with
the
Vince.
08 was the 13-3 team,
Yeah.
which should have.
06 they switched to Vince halfway through the year and they went 8-8, right?
That's right.
And then the next year made the playoffs and lost to Marty Schottenheimer and the Chargers.
Sure did.
And Marty got fired after losing to,
I think they made the AFC Championship.
and I think they lost, and then he got fired.
07. Yep.
So coming up next, we'll talk to Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. We'll do that. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes, as the NHL trade deadline is less than 24 hours away now. We say hello to Greg Wyshynski of ESPN, presented by Old National Bank. Get old. And Greg, the Predators, I guess we've been calling it, have waved the white flag, but they're starting to sell off some assets, but the big names still remain. How you doing?
How dare you not call Nick Blankenberg a big name? I mean, that's many people are calling this the Blankenberg deadline, but no, you're right. It's going to start probably picking up business in the next 24 hours as we get closer to the deadline tomorrow. And I get the sense a lot of people believe that Eric Hall is probably going to move. I kind of agree with that sentiment. You look around at the prices being paid for players that are sort of commiserate to his place in the lineup, and it's definitely a seller's market, so there's no reason why you wouldn't. And then, it'll be interesting to see how farther down, how deeper the cut goes. I think of the big three that we always talk about with Riley, Stamkos, and Marchessault is probably the one that people believe is most likely to move, maybe just out of change scenery because of the playoff pedigree. But we'll see what happens with that because that will require maybe for some teams to get a little bit creative financially.
So in your mind, when you look at what Barry's done so far, because I was pretty impressed. You get I don't care if it's 2028 or, next year, he got a second-round pick for Mike McCarron. He got a third-round pick for Cole Smith. I know he got a fifth for Blankenberg. I call that currency. So what could the incoming GM have to work with next year, even though fans might look at this, okay, they're going in full rebuild, depending on what else they sell. I feel like with all that draft capital, you can turn this around sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Cole Smith move I thought was great. I mean, I think getting a third out of that, like you said, even though it might be a little bit down the line, is great. And obviously McCarron getting a second is sort of indicative of what I was saying before, which is supporting cast players really, really bringing back a strong return. I'm still trying to figure out how the Blackhawks pulled a first-round pick out of Edmonton for Jason Dickinson, but I digress. Yeah. It does set up the next guy pretty well. The more draft capital you have, the more creative you can be. Look no further than the Utah Mammoth, where I think, the key to that trade of them getting Mackenzie Weegar was the ability to put together 3 second-round picks and send them to Calgary to complete that trade. So, again, it's all about assets and amassing them as best you can, and then comes the tricky part, which is how you use them. And I hate to kick a team while it's down, but to mention again, spending a first-round pick on Jason Dickinson, if you're the Edmonton Oilers, if you look at what's been put out by Stan Bowman in the last year and what's come in, it's just been pretty asset management for a team that needs to maximize their return on everything, considering their franchise player, Connor McDavid, basically gave them a 3 window to win before he leaves.
Barry Trotz has been very adamant and saying when it comes to Ryan O'Reilly, even though O'Reilly has no trade protection, he's talking to him every step of the way. O'Reilly wants to stay here. He's going to do right by him, but he has to absolutely get blown away. So in my mind, being blown away would be like multiple firsts, a prospect, and a roster player to fill in until, whoever is ready. Is that on the right track of being blown away?
I mean, there's different levels of blown away. There's apparently the blown away that St. Louis is looking for, which I guess is like Buffalo signing over their franchise charter to acquire Robert Thomas.
Well, Parayko said, no, I'm good.
And Parayko said, no, I'm good. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's pretty commiserate with what people have expected and what the going rates are. Again, it is a seller's market out there. And transactions like the Quinn Hughes trade sort of, set the market ceiling for elite players. And, you start to hear what the Blues are looking for Thomas and for players like Parayko and that kind of comes into play too. So these guys all have a real sense of what the marketplace looks like. And everybody I've talked to in the last week continually is telling me how high the prices are and how difficult it is to try to make these moves without having to pay an arm and a leg to do so. But on the Parayko thing quickly, like man, what a kick in the teeth for Buffalo. Like, things are going so well. Like, they're going to end their playoff drought. They're feeling good about life. And then they go out and try to acquire a guy, and he's just like, I ain't going to Buffalo. Like, and we're only a few months removed from, Kevin Adams, the former GM, being like, nobody wants to come here because we don't have elm trees. And now there's like a ton of reports about Parayko wanted to go play in California instead. And it's just like, oh man, Buffalo, things are going good, man.
Greg Wyshynski is with us. Greg, I am fascinated by your job these next 24 hours because, as you well know, there's a lot of fake accounts out there. How do you go about, validating what is accurate and what's not?
It's a great question. Listen, I'll have our various sources, agents, people in front offices that we can kind of rely on to confirm information or grab information. It's tough. You work really hard to be accurate this time of year because not only are you trying to track down people who are having the busiest time of their year and hoping that one of them can text you back or call you back in a short amount of time, but you're also trying to avoid the smoke screens and the things that are put out there, for reasons that maybe us on the outside don't understand, but within the context of a negotiation, it makes more sense. And that leads me to something that's really been interesting to watch at this deadline, which is we've had at least 4 instances in which trades have leaked without the principal of that trade agreeing to be traded. Tyler Myers to Detroit, Mackenzie Weegar to Utah, Jason Dickinson to Edmonton, and then most famously Colton Parayko to the Sabres. And 2 of those trades didn't happen. And I can't for the life of me remember the last deadline where this many trades have leaked where the principal of the trade hadn't actually agreed to be traded. There's something going on, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's an intriguing little sidebar to this deadline for sure.
So I know for us, like we keep refreshing to do all that. But with you, I mean, do you stay awake the next one? Because we're all looking to you, like what's breaking, what's happening. I mean, do you leave the office? Do you have like 4 computers set up? How do you work this?
Well, I mean, for me, it's easy. I do have a massive cocaine habit, but no,
that'll do it.
Starting last night into tomorrow at 3 p.m. It is kind of your doctor on call. You're pretty sure that once you get a good half an hour after the West Coast games end, that you might be able to call it, which is where I was last night. I just assumed that we weren't going to get anything really breaking overnight, but this is going to be a real long night tonight, not only in preparing for stuff for tomorrow, but also keeping an eye out and an ear open for things that might happen. And then tomorrow I'm actually in Bristol. I'm in Bristol all day. I'll be getting up there super early. I've got some video show stuff to do and some podcast stuff to do. And, if they need me on TV, I'll wear a tie. But it's going to be a long day, and it's a long day reaching out to sources and then also, trying to be as quick as you can to evaluate these things. It's tough because you don't ultimately know how some of these trades are going to work out, but it doesn't mean you get away from writing winners and losers, which is what I'll be doing mostly tomorrow, I think.
Can I just say this? And look, I love Adam Schefter. I think he does a fantastic job, but he broke an NBA trade and he broke the Panarin trade. Like, can he just stay in his lane and let you guys do it? I mean, are you going to be breaking Jets trades soon? Is that what we're getting?
No, Jets trades break me is the way that usually works. But no, listen. I think I got a real kick out of Schefter breaking the Panarin thing. I still haven't gotten a chance to ask him how that came about, but that's really funny. But I think you make a good point, which is that at this time of year, information comes from weird places. I think specifically about this account I've been following on Twitter, where it's just that follows who guys are following or unfollowing on Instagram. Like, for example, Jeff Skinner just unfollowed the San Jose Sharks because they cut him. And I've been wondering if tomorrow at some point that account's going to put out something that they break a trade based on somebody who's followed somebody on Instagram. Like, it's possible. And so that's what makes it exciting, is to we all know the insiders that we're going to rely on. We all know the networks are going to rely on. Hopefully people rely on ESPN. But it's sometimes those little weird pockets of information you have to kind of keep your eye out for that ultimately could provide a breaking trade, and you don't realize it at first.
Do you get, I mean, you've been doing this a long time now, Greg, but do you get the adrenaline rush when you break, whether it's a trade or break news? I've done it twice in my career because that's not really my thing. And both times I've had like the sweats because I just wanted to make sure I was right.
It's two levels of sweats. One is that you hope you're right in what you break. I remember being really early on the PK Subban trade to the Devils at the draft that year that it happened, and to the point where like SportsCenter had me on the air before it was announced, and I'm like, I really hope I got this right. Like, if they want to talk to me, but it's hoping that you have the breaking news correct, and then just hoping that you have the details correct. I'm a real stickler for not reporting something until you've got it all nailed down. And to this day, it still bugs me when I think I've got all the details on a trade, then the release comes out and it's like, wait, I didn't have that 6th round pick, and it's just not a big deal to anybody but me, but you just want to make sure that you get accurate information out there, because ultimately, people are going to re-quote it and retweet it and everything else. And it becomes kind of, canonical if you're not, and you want that to be accurate.
The first time, it wasn't really that I broke something. It was just I quoted David Poyle, and this was kind of your fault because it was when the Mike Ribeiro, I think they had re-signed Mike Ribeiro or something, and I quoted David, and you retweet or you DM me and were like, did he really say this? And I was like, yeah. And you retweeted it, and then my Twitter blew up. It was, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was when Ribeiro was kind of going through all his stuff, and it was a little bit of a controversial signing.
So you're saying that Greg hopped in your DMs?
Yeah, he did. He did hop in my DMs. We've been best friends ever since.
No, it's great. It's a feeling for those who've never been in the industry. Like when you do break news and you're the first out of the gate and no one else has it, it kind of feels like you're on the edge of a building and you're just staring down. Right? You know what I mean? Like there's no safety harness, there's no nothing. And then eventually you can just kind of climb back through the window when it becomes apparent that you were correct. But
I mean, you're
we've
right.
all had those moments.
Yeah, I've only broken 2 big stories, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if these are wrong, I'm dead. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And then of course it becomes. I mean, ultimately, it's also, part of this is also, none of us are writing fiction here. If we're getting news, we're relying on people telling us the news. And so on top of everything else, if you feel like you've gotten something wrong, then ultimately that means a source burned you. And then are they a bad source? Did they have a reason to? What happened on your end to end up getting something wrong? Luckily, that hasn't happened to me a lot. But it always is in the back of your mind of being like, please tell me the people that I've relied on for information are giving me good information.
Let me ask you, this was a question at the time I thought was really dumb, but then it made more sense. Somebody asked one time, they said, do you have a gut feeling something's going to happen? And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Do you have those tonight? Do you have a gut feeling something big's going to happen?
Oh, no, because I have a bad spidey sense for when things are going to happen, but I have a good spidey sense for whether the people I'm talking to are telling me the truth, or whether I think that, the reading between the lines when they're talking to you as to whether or not there might be more to what they're saying. I guess it's more crap detector than spidey sense, if we're being honest. I do have a good sense of that. And that's, it's one of the fun things about journalism is that, you talk to a ton of people and then you kind of have to figure out what they haven't told you or why they're telling you the things they have told you. Yep, right. And that can lead you down a billion different places.
It's funny. It'll be June. It'll be 10 years since the PK Subban Shea Weber trade.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That's time marches on. I just saw Nick Dowd, who got traded from the Capitals to the Golden Knights, I think has been with the Capitals for 8 years.
Wow.
And I still remember him being one of those guys at the deadline where it's like, this guy makes no money, someone should acquire him. And then, he gets traded for a first, a second and a third today or whatever it was. So time marches on, but the deadline's always fun. I mean, it's the next 24 hours is a blast. Even if nothing happens, the speculation, the things that get set up for the off season, because sometimes it's these trades that don't happen that all of a sudden lead to the big things that do happen in the summer. Like it's all just a really fun time of year, and then we exhale and wait for the playoffs to start.
Greg, Chase and I have this great quality that when we, in our interview with you, something big happens. Every time we go off the air, within 10 minutes, there'll be something big happen. So there's going to be a massive trade in the next 15 minutes after you hang up with us that you'll have that you will not be able to discuss on the Chase and Big Joe show.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, based on the available information at this trade deadline, it's going to take someone having to say yes to a trade,
Yep.
and that hasn't always happened. But I listen. Robert Thomas is a good example. Like, I still without hope that there is somebody that's going to step up with the deal that the Blues are looking for, and there are a couple teams that have the kind of players they are looking for. Seattle, Utah. There's a few teams that could really step up and take a big swing if they wanted to, and we'll see if it happens in the next 24 hours.
Do you think O'Reilly or Stamkos are moved by tomorrow?
I am like 105% convinced that Stamkos won't move, just based on everything I understand about that situation. But O'Reilly's a tricky one. I mean, O'Reilly is in that tier that's a couple up from the guys that are moving. Your Nick Waz and your Jason Dickinsons. He's kind of in that group with Nazem Kadri and players like that. And so, if somebody's really in on Kadri, they don't get him, or if they think that they need that kind of player, I mean, do they knock Barry's socks off with an offer? And if it's a team that O'Reilly wants to play for, who knows?
Yeah.
I tend to think it won't happen, but I'm not discounting that one as much as I'm discounting the Stamkos one.
Well, going to be interesting. Thanks as always, Greg. Love the conversation, and get some sleep when you can.
Anytime, boys. Talk to you next week.
Greg Wyshynski joining us on the program, presented by Old National Bank. Get old. We love having Greg on with us. We'll react to that, and also I've gotten some questions on the text line that about just kind of this whole process that I want to try and put some clarity to. We'll do that coming up next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. All right, I've been telling you about it. The Jack Links 500 weekend coming up at the Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th, that Friday to Sunday. Get your tickets by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA or go to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. And be sure to add the Talladega Garage Experience. You get garage bay viewing areas, pre-race ceremonies, driver and crew chief Q&A sessions, and more. 1-877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
a seller's market, so there's no reason why you wouldn't. And then, it'll be interesting to see how farther down, how deeper the cut goes. I think of the big three that we always talk about with Riley, Stamkos, and Marchessault is probably the one that people believe is most likely to move, maybe just out of change of scenery because of the playoff pedigree. But we'll see what happens with that because that will require maybe for some teams to get a little bit creative financially.
I was Greg Wyshynski just a few minutes ago with us on the Chase and Big Joe show. Joe, just seeing this, and your crack staff, Rick Merritt at The Unathletic reporting this. The road dog Jesse James has reportedly departed WWE. I know you were thinking that could happen.
Where's he going?
And it has happened. It doesn't say, but just got that news from The Unathletic.
Well, we'll have to work on that and just that's verified, right? I mean, that's true.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, doing a great job.
I saw they announced a few Hall of Famers. There's a tag team that's going in.
Demolition.
Axe,
Smash, and Crush.
Yep.
Stephanie McMahon will go in. AJ Styles will go in, and I think that's all they've.
Okay, good. Are we
the Undertaker? So this is great. So the Undertaker is now going and telling people they're going in the Hall of Fame.
It's great.
He's like the who's it? Chris Baker with
Sam Baker.
Sam Baker.
Is that his name? His son was Sam Baker.
Something Baker.
David Baker.
David Baker, maybe with the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of fun. So we got. We appreciate Greg for coming on, and I love when people. I love when we get new fans or newer fans or fans that don't know all the nuances, and they legitimately just want to ask questions when it comes to any type of sport.
Sure.
So Mark H on our text line texted him and said, should an outgoing GM be making these moves? It is a fair question to ask. My answer to him was, who else is going to make the moves? Trotz has the support of ownership and his bosses. This is something they had all discussed, that he will remain GM until a new GM is found. Because anyone that's under him, Brian Poyle or Scott Nickel or Kelty or whatever, I mean, they're under him. They've been with him like they've been with David Poyle. So you're kind of getting the same thought process anyway.
Sure.
So who would run it? And then he replies with, it's clear that Trotz is selling off key pieces of the roster for future draft picks. A new GM might think differently. So shouldn't these major decisions be left to the new GM? That's all I'm asking. Again, a fair question. But now is the time to sell these guys. All the guys they've traded have expiring contracts that will expire June 30th.
I mean, you can't do this June 10th.
Right. So you have to do it now. They can't wait to get the new GM to sell off some of these things. Now, O'Reilly and Stamkos, you could wait on that, and that's probably what's going to end up happening. But they have to sell some of this now. I said the timing of a sell-off when you're 4 points out of a playoff spot is very disheartening as a fan. I'm set to renew my tickets by March 14th, and I'm not sure that I'm going to at this point. I'm just a fan and not an expert, but I would have let the guys fight for a playoff spot and let these decisions be made by an incoming GM. It goes on to say a 2028 draft pick won't play in the NHL until 2031 or later. I have a hard time with ending our chances now with moves like that. Then we draft guys, develop them, and trade them away. Look at the team now. What have we drafted and developed that actually kept? I don't see any consistency with the strategy. But again, I'm a fan trying to understand the logic. Thanks for the reply. So all very fair questions.
Absolutely they are.
This is a team in transition. A new GM is going to come in here and going to look at things differently because that's what you need them to do. That's what you want them to do. Barry Trotz and David Poyle would both probably tell you that whoever the next guy is needs to come in and think like that guy and not like us because that's how this works.
Sure.
So there is a good chance they come in and they could come in and go, Andrew Brunette, you're doing a great job. We're going to keep you. They could come in just like Barry Trotz did and say, hey, you're a great coach, but I'm going to go get my own guy. That could happen. Then they could come in and look at the players. Ryan O'Reilly, we love you, but I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to move you. Or, hey, I need you to be a part of this rebuild. There are a lot of different scenarios that could go with that. As for the draft picks, I would say the percentage chance of the Predators using those draft picks to actually draft a player are probably less than 20%. They are currency.
Currency.
They're going to use that to trade, to move up in a draft or to acquire roster players or to acquire prospects. That's what they do. So I wouldn't read into the second round picks not until 2028. It's going to be 2031 before those players are ready. I wouldn't read into it that way because chances are you're not even going to use the pick. You're going to move it just like the team that acquired your player did to get something else.
Makes sense.
So it's currency. The next thing I'll say, renew your season tickets. If you're a fan, then keep being a fan. Yeah, this team might be bad next year, but we don't know. Right. I don't know that. So I think you have to look at this as they are doing the things that they needed to do. Yes, they were 4 points out of a playoff spot. The reality of the situation is they probably weren't going to make it. And they ultimately came to that decision. They probably sat there and go, you know what? I know these guys are fighting. I'm not saying they're not, but things ramp up this time of year. Guys get hurt. We may not have enough. We need to do right by the future by trading off some assets and getting some things that we can build this team in the future. So Barry Trotz is trying to leave this team in a better situation for the next GM.
Let's hope he does it.
Just like David Poile did for him.
Okay.
So I would say continue to support them, continue to go to the games, because you know what? Even if they're not good, the games are still fun.
They are a lot of fun.
Like I've gone and watched some bad hockey and had a time of my life. And it's fun to see the young guys grow right before your very eyes. So that's how I answer that, Mark. Thank you for listening.
They're going to play
We
this before the
appreciate
game
you.
tonight. The 3 keys to the game.
Yeah, they should.
Chase McCabe TED Talk.
They should. And look, there's going to be different opinions on this. We had 3 weeks during the Olympic break. Wouldn't that have been a good transition time to hire a GM? No, David, because a lot of the pool that you're swimming in, these guys are still under contracts. This is off-season stuff. Yes, they can look around and they can, build a board and have some conversations, but they got to wait till the season's over.
Do you think they got their guy in mind?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they probably have an idea or have a list.
An idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. 1137 says, if the fans can put up with the Titans being as god-awful as they are, they can put up with the Predators selling off and going through a rough patch.
Winner.
That's a very good point. So that is something to keep in mind. Interesting. Talk about some wrestling news that I just read.
Yeah.
Elite Rockers, which is via Fightful Select. The next WWE Saturday night's main event is reportedly scheduled for May 23rd, with Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, emerging as the leading candidate to host the show.
This year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like it.
Pretty cool.
That's Memorial Day weekend, too.
Yep.
Let's get it, brother.
That would be fun.
I like it a lot.
There you go. We'll have much more coming up next, live from the Omni, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 the game here on this Thursday. Live here at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Tomorrow you're off. You're going to go down to the SIP, right?
I'm leaving at 3, headed to Mississippi to see the grandbaby. And, I'll be back Monday when we're going to be remote at Salvo's in Mount Juliet for National Meatball Day. Salvo's across from Green Hill High School, 8 locations all across Middle Tennessee. I'm telling you, the food is fantastic. And we'll get to experience it with Dr. Crane with us on Monday at Salvo's, noon to 3 in Mount Juliet. Come by and say hi. We'll be giving out Nashville Predators tickets as well. Always a good time when we get together. That's Monday, noon to 3, Salvo's, Mount Juliet.
Tomorrow, Connor Newt is going to sit in with me, and we already got something loaded for just for the trade deadline. We got that going on. DMC of Run DMC is going to be in studio with us around 12:30.
Come on, man.
So that is going to be fun. And then TJ Miller, who is a comedian. I think we've had him on before.
He was on with us on October 20th, 2023.
That's right. Okay, that's what I thought.
That's right.
So
I remember it because a week before my birthday. So
he's coming in studio with us as well.
That was a memorable interview for sure.
Yeah.
It was.
So he will come in. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I get asked.
Looking forward to
people
that.
ask me like an interview that you did, like on-site live comedian that was just bizarre. And the Greg Pogan, I interviewed a guy one time that he'd been out all night, and I forget his name. He was on SNL for one season, and he'd been drinking all night. And Greg, if you're listening, you can text in. And he broke out in hives not just on the arm, from head to toe.
Jeez.
And he had some reaction to alcohol. And he started sweating. He had to leave halfway through the interview. I just never seen somebody break out in hives like that, panic, and then leave. And I forget his name.
That was with you and Greg?
Yep. Many years ago. That was probably the most bizarre.
Was it here or is it the other place?
I don't remember.
Because I feel like I would have remembered that.
I think it was the other place. And I'm not even going to look his name up because, like I said, it wasn't. But that, to me, that was the most bizarre interview we've ever done. Good times, man.
Yes, good times indeed. Here on the program. Eric. I had to remember my lines. Sorry.
You're interacting with me like my grandma did. What do you want?
Eric wants to answer the question of the day. Eric, what's up?
Hey, guys, first of all, I heard you talk about WWE. I'm going to try to see if I can't win some tickets for that May 23rd because I don't know if they're showing here locally because WWE now the Saturday Night Main Event's on Peacock, and I don't have Peacock. So I'll try to see if I can win some tickets, guys.
It's not confirmed. It's just a rumor that's out there, but just something to pay attention to.
And also, guys, wish me luck tomorrow. I've got to go to the dentist and have a bunch of teeth pulled. Not looking forward to it, but I got no choice.
Well, good luck, Eric. That sounds awful.
All right, thank you. So, guys, as far as people have told me who I look like, I've had people tell me I look like a couple of former Titans football players, some celebrities. The Titans football players I was told to look like, which I don't think I do, were Eddie George and Brad Hopkins. I don't think I look like either one of them. And I've had people coming up to me in the store and say, "Do I play football for the Titans?" I said, "No, but I wish I had the money." But the two I've been told I look like by most people, and I was flattered by one and not flattered by the other. The one I was flattered by is I've heard many people told me I look like former President Barack Obama.
Okay.
And people have asked me if I was him or if I was related to him. I said, no. But I've had several people tell me I look like him. But then I've had other people who have come up to me and I've told them this, and they said, "You do look like him." I've been told I look like O.J. Simpson. When I hear that, I said, "Oh, no."
Hey, you should have stopped at Barack Obama. That's a handsome man. You were good right there. Oh, man.
Yeah, but that's true. I've had several people tell me I look like him, and I've looked and I said, yeah, I do kind of favor him. I didn't like hearing that, but I've had several people tell me that. Guys, y'all take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Joe, have a good trip, and
Thanks,
say hello
Bubba.
to the grandbaby for me. Take care.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Eric. Well, those are some interesting ones. That is for sure. Coming up next, what day is it in celebrity birthdays? It's Chasing Big Joe, 1025 the game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. It's been a fun one. We'll see what ends up happening with the trade deadline tomorrow. But with that, let's get to what day is it? Celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on this, we have National Potty Dance Day. Joe, you should do that a little bit.
Potty dance?
Yeah,
I do
potty
that like
dance.
every segment.
Oh,
Potty. Got to go to the potty.
proud of you.
Thank you, pal.
National Poutine Day is today. It's pretty delicious there.
That is
National Cheese Doodle Day. That. National Hospitalist Day. Shout out to those that work at the hospitals, take care of people. Real Film Day. So the actual old school real films. World Book Day. It's celebrated in Ireland and the UK. Let's see what else we got here. Name Tag Day. Multiple Personalities Day. Cinco de Marcho. All right. Interesting.
All right.
National, let's see. Let me squint my eyes a little bit. National Absence Day. Is that right?
I don't know. You're telling us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's all I got. That's what we're going.
Real quick, breaking news. NCAA is appealing the Trinidad Chambliss preliminary injunction. They're trying to get it overruled in a 660-page filing to the Mississippi State Supreme Court. The NCAA is asking the court to overrule the injunction and expedite the ruling. Man, they just can't get anything. Nobody can get along anymore, right? So Trinidad coming back, but who knows? That's from Pete Thamel. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get within two. Since Dr. Crane, since you're not here, we'll start with you. How old is Fred the Hammer Williamson, actor, NFL player?
68.
74.
88. Chaser, how old is the Hall of Fame legend, Rocky Blyer?
Ooh, 77.
74.
80. Dr. Crane, one of the best relievers of all time, Kit DeColvey.
71.
73.
79. Chaser, how old is Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin, 66.
64.
60. Dr. Crane, MLB player Brian Hunter.
Current?
Brian Hunter.
Thanks. I'm going to go 52.
58.
55. God, you guys are terrible. 0-0.
Thanks.
Chaser, Paul Konerko won a World Series with the White Sox.
Yeah, 2005. I'm going to say he is 47.
42.
50. Dr. Crane, Wally Zierback. What's his name? Wally, the played it. Oh, gosh.
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
Wally Zerbiak. Wally Zerbiak. There we go.
Zerbiak,
Basketball player. Legend.
60.
Gosh.
74.
49.
Nice.
He played, I guess, at Miami of Ohio. Was it great? Chaser, how old is New Zealand rugby hero Dan Carter?
Dan Carter, 41.
52.
44. Dr. Crane, come on. He had more test scores than anybody in history. Dr. Crane, how old is Kyle Schwarber?
Today is his birthday. I forgot about that. Kyle Schwarber is 36.
33.
33 exactly. Somebody's on the board, 2-0. Chaser, Justin Fields. How old is Justin Fields?
28.
29.
27. 3-0 Chase. Friend of the show, Dr. Crane, Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller.
59.
74.
71. Chaser, the very attractive Eva Mendez.
52.
58.
52 exactly. Dr. Crane, the actor, director, Kevin Connolly.
60.
57.
52. I think she lives here in Nashville. Supermodel Nikki Taylor. Friend of the show. Fan of the show. I have no idea.
31.
41.
51. Got the ones right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Rapid fire. Chaser, singer Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue.
71.
74.
78. Dr. Crane, actor, comedian Marsha Warfield. She was on Night Court. Very funny.
60.
63.
72. Chaser, The Proclaimers, Charlie and Craig Reed. I will walk 500 miles in. How old are they?
67.
70.
64. Dr. Crane, John Frusciante, guitar player for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
58.
62.
56. You're on the board. 5-1. Let's see here. Chaser, musician Amanda Shires. I think she used to be married to Jason Isbell.
48.
44.
44 exactly. It is 5-3, and we're down to 2 more birthdays. Dr. Crane, how old is singer Rome? R-O-M-E.
33.
27.
56. Last one from Star Trek Enterprise, actress Jolene Blaylock.
58.
63.
51. With that, Chase wins 5-3.
Well done.
Boom.
Good
Thank
job,
you, sir.
everybody. Well done. In the week strong there, Chaser.
Yeah, well, it's fun. We'll probably do it again tomorrow without you. We'll miss you.
You should.
Yeah.
It's a show
It'll
that
be
lives
Connor
on.
versus Dr. Crane.
Oh, it'd be great. They won't know anybody that's over 25 years old.
Hey, Dr. Crane's been on a run lately. That is going to do it for us here from the Omni today.
Hey, it is as we end every show to our guys out there, a simple message every day. Know how much we love you, and our world is a better place because you are here. Know how many people absolutely love you. I tell you, right now when you walk into a room, people light up because they think about you and they see you. Somewhere right now, somebody's smiling because of a joke you told them or how you make them feel. Please know that you are deeply loved. I need you to go to therapy, unitycares.com, unitycares.com. Go there, sit down. Just go one time. Go one time for me and change your life. I tell you all the time, how our world is a great place because you are here. Please know how much we love you on this show. You can reach out to us at any time and know more than anything else in the world. Please know more than anything else in the world how much God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next. 102.5 The Game.